first trip to Hancock Stadium. The Redskins boast a 2,000-yard passer in Griff Juergens, who has weapons all over the field, including an 1,100-yard tight end and a 2,000-yard rusher. Enter Bishop McNamara for the 7th time this year with an outstanding defense to complement an explosive ground attack led by Johnny Short. Unbeatens collide today for the 4A title.
From Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University, it's the 4A High School Championship game. Welcome in Brian Davis and Al Harris with another battle of unbeatens. Familiar turf for Bishop Mack, not so for Glenwood, but their coach Dan Rourke says don't worry about it, we'll be fine. He's got plenty of weapons. We're going to talk first about the weapons for the Fighting Irish. The headliner, Johnny Short.
Johnny Short, he may be short in name and stature, but he's long on heart and production. 1,800 yards, 25 touchdowns. He carried him last week, 234 yards, so this guy is going to carry him all the way if they're going to win.
An 1,800-yard rusher for Bishop Mack, a 2,000-yard guy for Glenwood. His name is Chris Ross.
Oh, Chris Ross, he's Mr. Excitement, over 2,000 yards rushing. He broke a long one. His longest one this year was 83 yards, so he's going to be exciting to watch today.
Both teams had faced adversity at several times along the way this year, and every time they've overcome it. Dan Rourke says he doesn't think any lead is going to be safe this afternoon. Mitch Robinson is working the sidelines with us. He's going to help get us to kickoff. Mitch?
Thanks a lot, Brian and Alan. Let me tell you, the weather here, you thought it was nice yesterday. Today, it's even warmer. A little cloud cover, we're going to need it because it is steaming up, and this should be a hot contest. Speaking of crowd support, Bishop McNamara, nice crowd. This Glenwood crowd, awesome. They have the whole side, the home side filled, and they're spilling over into the end zone stands. A lot of support on both sidelines for a great game. We'll have more on that in a moment, but first, let's kick it up to PA announcer Jeff Fritzen for today's starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for today's Class 4A State Championship game. First, for Kankakee McNamara, head coach Rich Zanani. The defensive starters for the Fighting Irish. At left end, number 22, Taiwan Hagler. At left tackle, number 56, Nick Grant. At right tackle, number 55, Bob Bayland. At right end, number 3, Kurt Crosley. At linebacker, number 2, Tim Olmstead. At linebacker, number 44, Rob Windinger. Linebacker number 57, Anthony Balthazar. Defensive back number 20, Brandon Halliday. Defensive back number 32, Vince Singleton. Defensive back number 43, Michael Kimberlin. And at safety, number 6, Jonathan Dole. And now for Chatham Glenwood High School, head coach Dan Rourke. And the starting offense for the Redskins, at left end, number 9, Cam Kirsch. At left tackle, number 71, Andrew Schlichting. At left guard, number 53, Mike Stegeman. At center, number 63, Mike Thompson. At right guard, number 61, Bob Perkins. At right tackle, number 70, Steve Hoppy. At right end, number 1, Ken Boyle. At quarterback, number 12, Griff Juergens. At halfback, number 34, Chris Ross. At halfback, number 5, Bill Clayton. And at fullback, number 22, Jared Bruner.
So there you have the starting lineups for both teams. This should be a great contest. Actually, all three today that we have will be great. This one's just going to be a wild kickoff. The road to normal, let's take a look at how they got here. First at McNamara. It hasn't been an easy road. Quick win over Mount Carmel, 9-6. Actually, that's the wrong mat. That's what we have later for you. The road to normal over Jacksonville, 33-16. They come off a win over Rochelle, 28-21 in a tough contest. Now for Glenwood. They too coming off a tough one. A double overtime win over Geneseo Darnell, 37-34. So both on a roll, both ready to rock, and both 13-0. Let's kicking up to Brian and Al for the kickoff of today's 4A title game.
Thank you kindly, Mitch. Mike Kimberlin will kick it off for the Fighting Irish of Bishop McNamara, and back to receive Chris Ross and Skip Clayton. Ross, number 34. He is the 2,000-yard rusher, just named before kickoff to the coaches all-state team, along with tight end Ken Boyle for the Redskins. It is a fabulous day. Yesterday it was like this, and some of the coaches on the early games were saying maybe even a little bit too warm, but it is a dandy, and it certainly beats the alternative. McNamara dodges the bullet. Mitch mentioned the double overtime win for Glenwood at Geneseo Darnall. McNamara played Pontiac in a one-point game and just survived when Pontiac missed a field goal in the closing seconds. This is Skip Clayton, one of the up men, taken down immediately by Rob Wendinger. And we are underway. What an offense for the Redskins of Glenwood. Griff Juergens, a 2,000-yard passer to go along with a 2,000-yard rusher in Chris Ross. Kirsch, the All-Stater Boyle, and Bill Clayton. And then up front, the offensive line anchored in the middle by 5'10" Mike Thompson. Small on that line, but quick, and boy, do they play with pride in terms of what they have done. The handoff to Ross goes left side and doesn't get much. Anthony Baltazar, MVP for the Fighting Irish, makes the tackle. Here they are up front. Tywan Hagler may be the best player on this Bishop McNamara squad. Kirk Crosley, great story. Didn't start playing football until just a couple of years ago. Olmstead, Wendinger, and Baltazar on the edges, the heart of this defense. Halliday, Singleton, Kimberlin, and Dole in the secondary. Juergens passes and hits his man. He's got Jeremy Lynch for a modest gain. He'll be shy of the stick, so we go third down.
Well, Brian, one of the things that Glenwood brings at you, they're so balanced. They have Juergens, who's thrown over 2,000 yards, as well as Ross. So they can attack you a lot of ways. In that pattern, they went 4 wides. They had 3 wides from one side and ran a quick little screen there.
5,002 yards for the Redskins offense in 1998. Juergens will go down. Sacked on the play by Tywan Hagler.
You know, Ty Hagler, 18 sacks this year. This guy is a big pressure guy, a tremendous player. He's going to come from your right side of your screen, from the right side there. He's going to beat the block. He uses his hand, pushes off Ross. Ross is a small blocker, and Hagler just overpowered him.
So Hagler's 19th sack of the season. This guy, a junior, Rich Zanani says, may be our best player. Jeremy Lynch will punt in single safety. Is Hagler. And the punt takes a bounce up the line in Glenwood's favor, and it's going to be covered inside the 30-yard line by Ken Boyle. So a break. Didn't get everything he could into that punt, but it winds up going 41 yards.
Well, that's what you need. You need the good bounces because field position is so important. A lot of times the way you start a game out is going to determine, you know, first and third quarters. How you start out is going to determine the difference in the game.
The little guy at the controls, 5'8", Ryan Magruder, short, and Fitch is the fullback. Nick Bufford, Brian Zirkle, Andrew Profit, unsung hero. And another outstanding offensive line. Baltazar inserted for the playoffs. He did not play the offensive line during the year. Johnny Short gets first touch and 2 yards.
Well, you have Ken Boyle's a big ranging linebacker, and they made a nice play on Short. And primarily, they're going to ride Short all the way.
Keep an eye up front. Well, they've made a change. They had a 5'6" player there. And all the way down the field, and it's complete. Brian Zirkle on the option pass to Nick Bufford. Great gain as McNamara runs some razzle-dazzle and makes the Redskins pay.
Good coaching by Rick Zananti here. Just does a reverse there. And this is what you want. You get a reverse early in the game. Teams are kind of tight. And you make the great plays like this with Burford there, who's their leading receiver. And that's what they need. They need that quick possession.
Bufford again gets the call.
They're running a no huddle now, it looks like.
Offset eye. You called it right. The pitch to short. Gains some room. Hits two men about 3 yards down from the line of scrimmage. Good for a first down on 2nd and 1 for Johnny Short. Previous play covered 43 yards.
Well, that's smart. Right after you hit them with a trick play, you go no huddle, get those guys on defense a little rattled. Obviously, they respect Glenwood's defense tremendously. Otherwise, they wouldn't go no huddle. They don't want that defense to get set.
Swing pass to Hagler. Gets a block. But it was a block in the back, and this one's going the other way. Let's keep looking at the Redskins defense for the Glenwood squad. Ken Boyle, All-State as a tight end, a standout at linebacker as well, along with Hill and Daly. And then in the secondary, Mike Pierce, who made the play to stop Bufford on the option pass. He's got 10 interceptions. Zach Crawford. Pass interference, personal foul, and a clipping foul was called against Glenwood, I believe. Let's hear what the referees got to say.
There it is. Finch right behind him, hit him right dead in the back.
Referee today is Tom Fryer from Arlington Heights. They're getting it sorted out.
It's a penalty against Glenwood.
That's the thing that surprises me.
I mean, it looked like a clip there by Flint.
Flipping on the defense, not against the runner. Half the distance, first down.
So first and goal. And it looked for all the world to me as if he got sprung by a block in the back, but the ball goes the other way. Hey, they're down there, we're up here. McNamara from the 8-yard line. Johnny Short, touchdown.
Short. I mean, you think about this guy. He's 5'8", 182 pounds, but on that play, he ran like a fullback. Just powered his way into the end zone. Just a quick hitter up the middle. Nice seal by the fullback there, Flinch. And watch him. Oh, my goodness. He ran right over the defender there for a touchdown. Over Skip Clayton.
Kimberlin for the point after. 18 of 21 on the season now, and McNamara with a 7-0 lead. The Fighting Irish scores on its first touch and takes the advantage in this battle of unbeatens at Hancock Stadium.
The Illinois High School State Football Championships are brought to you in part by Pepsi One. Only one has it all. Dominic's, the fresh store. Country Companies. When it matters the most, the country's behind you. The Chicago Sun-Times, your newspaper for high school sports. And by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Get ready to taste life for the first time, people.
Watch out now. You want to taste life? Then take a big swig of this new Pepsi One. This one's got it all. The most awesome cola taste that's bigger than the Wild Blue Yonder. But only 1 calorie. You want to taste one? Yeah. You want one? Yeah. You want one? Come and get it.
You got one for me?
Put your tray table up and prepare for takeoff, my man.
New Pepsi One.
The things that you hold close, we do too. Sharing your dreams and seeing you through the bright tomorrows, human sorrows. It's nice to know when it matters most, the country's behind you. Companies,
everyone, I'm Tom Waddle. So you can't get enough inside info on the Bulls and White Sox, so where do you go? For the show behind the show.
Dan Rourke on the sidelines. He's used to this. They were down 16-0 in a hurry at Geneseo Darnall and came back and scored on 3 consecutive possessions and went on to win that semifinal. If you're 13-0 and playing in the state championship game, I don't think you should be concerned about coming out tight. We'll be fine.
Well, they have their work cut out for them, no question about that. But they have Chris Ross back there, who's an explosive player. He has tremendous acceleration, so we got to watch this guy.
The kick to the sideline, and Bill Clayton will let it go out of bounds, so favorable field position for Glenwood on this possession. Let's take a look at Johnny Short once more.
Now watch the lead blocked by 35 Fitch there. Watch him lead on number 1. He just blows him out of there, and Short does the rest. He runs right over Skip Clayton. Actually, that was on Ken Boyle, the block was on, so he was on their big linebacker there that Fitch made that block. So that was very impressive.
Glenwood opts to take the ball at the 35 rather than to make McNamara re-kick. Redskins' double overtime victory in the semifinal came on a 27-yard field goal by Zach Murphy, who in warm-ups was kicking from 45 yards out. Lynch in motion near side. That's up the gut, and the ball is tipped. Lynch was the intended receiver. Anthony Baltazar got the paw in to knock it down. Baltazar, the MVP, not just for the defense, but for the McNamara squad that is so talented. He says, you know something? That's big praise to me when my teammates on this team give me that. Makes me proud.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's tremendous respect for those guys. It gets everyone motivated to play together.
Now Juergens will roll out. Strung to the edge. He's looking for Clayton, who has it inside the 30-yard line. Bill Clayton for 36 yards under the coverage of Brandon Halliday.
This is why Juergens is thrown for over 2,000 yards. They had him slotted real wide, unusually wide. He sprints out there to stretch that defense out, and he's just going to loft it up there to Bill Clayton. Clayton is 6'2", and he uses all that height, good hands, and brings it down.
3 receivers to the far side. The handoff to Ross. He goes the other way, and he's got room. Gets a block from Clayton. He's inside the 15.
These are momentum shifters right here, Brian. You know, you have that long pass there. Now you go back to your top rusher, Chris Ross, bring him back to the right side.
15 yards and another first down.
Looks like they're trying to stay away from Hagler there because he's a heck of a football player. So they're going the opposite way.
Trips right. Cam Kirsch is split all the way to the far side. Ross again up the gut, and he's hit immediately. Bob Beelan makes initial contact at the line of scrimmage.
But what they're doing, they're taking unusually wide splits by both of the wide receivers on both sides. I mean, almost on the sideline. I mean, it's unusual you see something like that, but obviously they're trying to open that field up so Ross can get a quick hitter. You can see why they'd want to get a quick hitter. 48 touchdowns.
Same look on 2nd and 10.
Look how wide that is.
Juergens.
You know what? You got that big Boyle there. Ken Boyle, 6'5", 240. And they spread their guys out wide, as we just showed you. They're really wide so they can get those good angles to throw that football in there. They're really spreading the defense out, and they flank Boyle out there. He's like a tight end, but they can spread him out. He has that kind of speed.
They will flex him wide. That's his 16th touchdown of the season, and came into the game with 168 career receptions the extra point. Zach Murphy now 49 of 50. Got to be one of the better kickers in the state. And we haven't played 5 minutes, and we're at 7 aside.
Well, boy, we got a barn burner here going early. Now, they just spread them out. Jurgens does a good job here. About a 5-step drop. Just a quick slant right across there. Easy touchdown for Kent Boyle. He's a big target to throw to. Now, see how they got him in the middle, and it looks like there was just a mix-up in the secondary of who has who, because they crossed him. You see everybody's excited on the sidelines.
Griff Jurgens threw a rope right between two defenders, Rich Zenani. Now gets a chance to show what he can do in terms of responding to adversity. His 7th appearance in a title game. Made 6 in 3A, won 4 of those. The last time up was in 1987. Getting looks from several Division I programs, including Illinois, Northwestern, Syracuse, and Vanderbilt. There's the guy who put the ball to him, Jurgens. Squib kick is taken by Vince Singleton. Good return to the 30-yard line. 22-yard return for Singleton.
Well, both teams have come out and answered each other very well. I mean, they're coming out, establishing offensively what they need to do. It'll be interesting to see what McNamara does in this series.
Jurgens showing some serious attitude on the sideline. Magruder hands to Short for 2. Ken Boyle first in.
Jeremy Lynch also got in there, made a good play. That's what you got to do to contain Johnny Short. You can't have one guy tackling him. You got to have a group of guys coming around making the plays, and you'll watch him. You'll go towards the left, and you'll see Lynch 42 shut off the blocker there. Nice play by number 42, Jeremy Lynch.
Magruder, 5'8", 175 pounds, up to Gus Short.
Impressive power this Short has. I mean, you look at him as a small guy, 5'8", 182, but he runs like a 225-pound back. Now watch the power when he elite draw there. Boom! I mean, the power he goes. He's taking a 240-pound linebacker, Kent Boyle, and driving him down the field, and he is small.
3rd and 2. First 3rd down for the Fighting Irish. The pitch to Short. Gets around one man, turns upfield. He's got the stick. He loses the tackle of Kalen Hill, who had 103 coming into this game, and they moved the chains for Bishop Mack.
I'm very impressed with Short. Watch the running here. Finch does a good job. He blocks there, he kicks him out, and after that it's all Short. Good spin move. Now watch Short. He gets his shoulders. Once he gets his shoulder square and gets up the field, he's tough to tackle. Nice spin move there to get the first down.
He's on his way to a great day. 5 carries, 37 yards. Magruder on the play fake. He shows it. And he's got Nick Bufford on the far edge. First down inside Glenwood territory.
And let us not underestimate Ryan Magruder. I mean, he's a good thrower. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns this year, 1,200 yards. And that's what happens, Brian, when you get that good running game established, you can go to that pass off of the first down. You have it play action there to Short. Now everyone's up for that run. You have Burford right there, wide open.
Bufford's got some speed. He was all conference in the Catholic Metro White as a defensive back. Short to the edge. Breaks one tackle. He's got about 5.
Well, that's what you need to do. You need to get as many guys to the ball carrier as possible. Tim Brinkman came up there and blew that play up, number 24. Now watch Brinkman come up 24. He's just going to come in there and throw his body in there. But he slows Short down enough for everyone else to get there.
Johnny Short in the comeback victory in the semifinal over Rochelle. A career-high 28 carries, 234 yards. Said, I like the feeling of putting the team on my back. Magruder rifles one to the near side to Bufford.
They're just running a nice ball control game. They're not really going deep yet. They're just taking advantage of having that great runner in the backfield to keep Glenwood's defense off balance.
4-yard gain, 3rd and short. McNamara averages 192 yards a game on the ground, 288 yards total. Glenwood's defense gives up 144 a game. Short, wow.
Wow, it's right. I mean, he looked for sure like he was going to pop that for a touchdown. Good acceleration, and you love the way he runs low. Watch the body lean here. He's gonna read the blocking very well on the line, and he pops through that hole, running low, keeping the shoulders low. He almost popped that for a touchdown. Good blocking by the O-line there. Watch the pull by Baltazar. That was a nice pull by Anthony on that one, blocking.
Magruder on the play fake is rolling and under serious pressure. Gets a great block to get rid of the pass, but Profit, the tight end, can't flag it down.
Baltazar put another nasty hit out there. Man, oh man, is he unloading on some people. Watch his hit on Brune he puts right here. Watch Baltazar. Whop. Man, this guy is all over the place hitting people.
Mentioned that Zanatti inserted him on the offensive line just for the playoffs. He says this guy could play fullback, he could play tight end, he could play anywhere.
Well, he played that guy pretty well right there, put him on his backside.
The workhorse.
Oh.
And you will need a yoke and a collar to bring him down.
Man, oh man, does this guy run powerful. Now, Brune, he's their star guy. 16 sacks here. Baltazar, that's probably why they have him in there, just for Brune to control him. As you can see, it was his block that set Short free. They have to control Charlie Brune in order to get a good running game.
McNamara out of the eye from the 14-yard line. Well, there comes Brune.
Brune said enough of that. I'm coming to play. And that time they couldn't control him. That's what they need from him. They need their leaders to step up and take charge. He's going to scrape around there. Just wrapped up Johnny Short, got the hands on him. 5'10", 5'11", 210.
16 sacks, as you mentioned, 106 tackles, 87 of those. You want to talk about getting to the point of attack, 87 solos. And Singleton is hammered for a loss.
Wow.
Skip Clayton blew untouched into the backfield.
Watch this. Clayton's going to come up there, and I think, oh, Daly there, Ryan Daly, 6'6", 230, number 8. Watch him. He'll bring the blocker, just brings the blocker right back into Hagler there.
Third and 7 at the 11-yard line. Magruder cannot escape the pressure. First from Adam Coombe, finally taken down by Tim Brinkman.
Now this is what happens when you have good coverage, Brian. Look at this coverage right here. They just have everyone shut down. They're playing their zone responsibilities well. Double coverage there, Brinkman. And now Brinkman comes up later on and knocks the quarterback basically for no gain.
Mike Kimberlin will attempt a 28-yard field goal. He is 1 of 3. His long is 21. 1 of 4. And Glenwood holds.
You got to take advantage of those points when you can get them, especially against a high-powered offense like Glenwood. As you can see, their fans are getting into it with the jugs and the money, huh?
The jug's in the money, and I guess everybody.
Money in the jugs. I'm saying jugs in the money. The money in the jugs there.
Gallon milk cartons with a handful of coins. A 13-play drive that took just under 5 minutes, and the Irish come up empty.
Rob Wendinger put a dinger of a hit on Ross. He power drived them into the ground on that play.
Wendinger, 6'1", 195 pounds, a senior. Juergens play fake. Selman, he's got Bill Clayton out of bounds, shy of the first down.
Brian, you can see why this offense by Dan Rourke is so potent. When you have Juergens who can throw like he can, and you have these fine receivers like Clayton and Boyle, and you have a great runner like Ross, you can flank them out and you can throw like that. That's a very tough offense to defend.
Dan Rourke particularly asked who's been doing well in the playoffs, and Bill Clayton is one of the guys, along with his split end Cam Kirsch, who is all the way to the far side. Juergens to the tight end. Boyle juggles and drops. Incomplete. Man, he was hit, and hit hard, by Jonathan Dole, the free safety.
I tell you what, on that play, Lynch and Boyle, they look like they ran a pick. I think that should be illegal there because they were a little too close together. But watch this hit here. That's where you get your shoulders in there.
So 4th down, and Lynch will punt.
Dole's a little guy, but he put a good pop on him. Little guy in weight, not in height, 6'1", but he's only 165 pounds.
Mack lets it go. Hagler had a notion.
Then Singleton,
he's back there with his quarterback Magruder.
Ben Singleton has to be careful back there. He's back there blocking, and the punt almost hit him in the back, so he has to be very careful on that.
Mitch Robinson's on the sideline. What do you got, big guy?
Well, Brian, earlier you mentioned about Rich Zananti and the experience his team has down here. We've got 4 teams with a lot of downstate experience. As we take a look at our little graphic for you, it's well, later up, coming up later up today, we have Providence against Mount Carmel. That's at 3 o'clock in the 5A championship. That's live. And live on Fox Sports Plus, it's Barrington versus Wheaton Warrenville South. Experience, yep, they've been down here 9 times, 6 state titles. That's McNamara. So they're looking for their record 7th today. But also Mount Carmel down here 9 times, 6 championships. Providence down 7 times, 6 championships. And Wheaton Warrenville South down 6 times with 3 championships. Experience will go a long way. Also, one other thing for you. Magruder, the reason why he's rolling out, McNamara likes the way he runs, and also the size of the Glenwood defensive line. Magruder's not the biggest quarterback, guys.
No, at 5'8", you're right, but he's got Johnny Short, who is not that big himself. Gains 7 yards on 1st down. Doesn't get much on 2nd down. Close to the stick, but not quite. Depending on the spot of the ball, well, he may have gotten it.
Jeremy Lynch came up there and made a good play, wrapped his arms around it, but we'll see if this ends up being a 1st down. Johnny Short's just very impressive to me. I mean, for such a little guy to run with the power he has, it's just very remarkable.
Johnny Short. They'll move it 1st down. Johnny Short, Zananti says he's not the fastest tailback, but one of the toughest. And one of the things Rich Zananti likes about Johnny Short is that he does not fumble the ball. Let's see if McNamara can get the playoff before the 1st quarter expires. The answer is yes. And for a change of pace, Taiwan Hagler, and what a change of pace. This guy next year is going to replace Short as the featured back. He's strongest right now on defense. How about that for a preview as the 1st quarter comes to a close? McNamara and Glenwood are tied at 7 at Hancock Stadium on Fox Sports Chicago.
When every day starts looking the same. Escape the everyday in a new Lincoln Town Car or Lincoln Continental. Lease a 99 Town Car now for just $459 a month for 30 months. Plus, we'll pay your first month's payment to help put you in the picture. Or lease the 99 Continental for only $459 a month for 30 months. Plus, we'll pay your first month's payment to change your outlook. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Now the Sabres look to get out of the zone. Woolley just hammered home Morrow.
The heat rises in Calgary when the Hawks battle the Flames. Hawks, Flames, tonight at 8:30 on Fox Sports Chicago.
Meet Wayne Best.
On the left is a quality Whirlpool dryer from Dick Van Dyke. On the right is the same Whirlpool dryer from Circuit City. So besides free delivery and a free 7-10-year warranty, why buy from Appliance World? You'll save about $69 only at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Yes, we called Dick Van Dyke because we'd used them previously. The service was good, price was reasonable, so we contacted them again.
At Dick Van Dyke, our customers expect same-day service, quality fix in a short amount of time.
Bankrupt? Divorced? Bad credit? Get smart. Call the one place in America where everybody's applying for a car loan. Auto Credit Hotline USA. It's easy, it's free, and every application is considered. Call right now. Operators are on duty 24 hours a day. If they're busy, leave a message. All calls top secret. Hello, 99. Everybody is calling. Choose the payments, choose the car, choose Auto Credit Hotline USA. Get smart. Call now. Drive today.
As we get set to start the second quarter, well, what did Rich Zanani plan offensively here today?
We try to get Johnny Short started early and make him defend that. And then, Ryan Magruder maybe open it up a little bit with some play action stuff. And, that's been what we've done all year long, and it's worked out for us, so far.
It most certainly has, and now they've got the ball back again, Al, after coming up dry after an otherwise impressive 13-play drive. I think in the end, depending on what McNamara does here, that puts some pressure on Glenwood to get something done when they've got the ball. Obviously, is hammered by Josh Bridges, who is called by his coach, Rourke, one tough hombre. Think we just saw why.
Wow, I mean, he came across that line so quick. No one must have blocked him on that. I mean, he immediately whips the, wow. Just a great, just arm over and just takes Fitch to the ground.
He rubbed off the left side guard, Brian Kincaid. And it was almost as if he were untouched. Loss of 2. Magruder, the ball was tipped, I think, by Lynch at the line of scrimmage. That's a disadvantage when you've got a guy who is 5'8" trying to pass over
6'2".
A 6'2".
Yeah, that's part of it. That's why they want to roll him out a lot. Lynch does a good job. Jeremy Lynch gets his hands up, tips the ball, and throws off the timing of that pass. Otherwise, Bufford has that.
3rd and 12. McNamara 2 of 3 on 3rd down. Magruder the pump fake, and now he's going for the downs, and he well overshoots his receiver, Nick Bufford. Bufford, great closing speed. It looked like that ball was going to drop 6 yards in front of him. He did well to get as close to it as he did.
Yes, he did, but Glenwood had the right defense there. They were in a deep zone on that, and he tried to pump fake there to get the corner to bite, but Mike Pierce was back there waiting, number 16, and Bufford does a good job of just getting there to make sure that Pierce didn't make the play.
Clayton and Ross deep. Tim Bradley's punt will roll and then hit the brakes and will stop and will be downed at the 6. 37-yard punt. How do we do numerically in the first half?
Wow, you see McNamara pretty much had the yards advantage there in the time of possession, but it's still 7-7 score. That's what counts. No turnovers. So both teams are making the other one earn it.
Glenwood this year, 22 interceptions, was a plus 19. Ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Kurt Crosley, with that 6'4" frame, leaps up and knocks the ball down.
Looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on that one, just jumping way up there and putting that big paw up. Number 3, Kurt Crosley.
12 sacks on the season. 22 plays for McNamara and 12 for Glenwood. Kurt Crosley did not play football until he was a sophomore at Bishop McNamara. Never lifted a weight. Guess he's caught up.
Oh, yeah.
Juergens in trouble and nearly sacked. But he gets rid of the football, and they're going to call the grounding on Griff Juergens. So that will be a loss of down as well. Taiwan Hagler had a notion to toss him down for 2.
Well,
doesn't work out that way, but it works out in another for McNamara.
They have 2 of the finest defensive ends in the state, Crosley and Hagler, and both of them are going to put pressure on Juergens coming from both sides. You'll see them just fly in there. Look at both of them forcing Juergens to step up. Hagler has him, and you can see why that's a grounding call.
Loss of down, half the distance, 3rd down.
He was fortunate that wasn't in the end zone.
Exactly right. The loss of down here, of course, is what hurts. Half the distance where you are.
Oh, yeah.
In this end of the field, this deep, doesn't really matter an awful lot.
Those defensive ends are going to really be coming, so I would anticipate a screen would be kind of dangerous, but a quick play, not to get the pressure and get a safety on this play.
Give your punter a little room to operate. Juergens is going to throw, and he's got Boyle. Boyle turns upfield. Can't gain the stick, but at least he gets the Redskins out of the deep woods for the punter.
That's the call you got to make on that play, because if you have those 2 dangerous defensive ends, you can get in trouble. Now watch Boyle. He'll just go out into the flat, make the nice catch. He got a little mad at himself. He forgot where the sidelines was. He could have made a little more yards on that play.
Jeremy Lynch averaged 30 yards a punt coming into the championship game. Gets a good one away. Hagler in his own end of the field gets a block, wiggles to the sideline, and puts Bishop McNamara in operation from the Glenwood 42, a 46-yard punt. Lynch had one this year, and you're going to figure this one had the roll. Lynch had one earlier this year of 58 yards.
Wow, and this one had tremendous height there, because you need that going against a returner like Hagler. And Hagler does a good job of returning this punt. For a guy playing defensive end, he has a lot of shake on him. Watch this move here. Whoop. I mean, he can play any position on the field. You get that feeling.
Line, 1st down.
Procedure call on the punt against Glenwood. McNamara declines. They'll be pleased to take it at what will be the 41-yard line. Johnny Short is being recruited at the next level at 5'8". He'll probably get more out of 1AA than he will out of 1A. Takes the pitch from McGruder. Ball comes out, and it's recovered by Glenwood. So the guy who doesn't fumble does, and gives the Redskins new life.
Yeah, we couldn't see it on that play, but there was a monster hit that was put on Johnny Short. That's the way you meet force with force right there. Johnny come in with the ball, and watch, boom. I think that was Boyle that came in there, number 1.
Charles Brunn recovered.
Boyle came in and put on the hit. I don't know if somebody got an arm in there and got it free before. There's Boyle. Oh, no. It hit his own player. He hit his own player, kind of ran into his player's backside, and the ball popped out.
1st and 10, Glenwood 43. Ross gets an adrenaline burst off the sudden change, and he picks up a quick first down in McNamara territory.
But these are one of the things we talked about. You get a turnover with 2 evenly matched teams that can make the difference in the game.
There's a flag on the play. There is not a flag on the play.
Waved it off.
Your officials this afternoon: Tom Fryer from Arlington Heights, Hamilton, Cush, Lowe, and Ruggiero. The rest of the crew.
Now it'll be interesting to see what they do right off of this. They got the momentum now. This could be a big play, a good play action play downfield off of the run would be really nice.
Ross off the edge, gets a couple of good blocks. His receivers working for him. They were bunched tight to the left side of the line.
And as you mentioned that, they were bunched tight to the left side of the line. That's a good call there, Brian, because they wanted the blocking angles. Now watch the receivers come down there and block, and they get a good seal off for Ross, who cuts back to the inside and gets good yardage.
2nd and less than 1. Ross motions out, and the handoff goes to Jared Brunner, the fullback, who didn't touch the ball a lot this season. 50 carries, he averaged 4.8. The point is here that he gets the first down.
And you want to keep your offense balanced. That Glenwood stresses that so much, and you go to your fullback every once in a while.
Tim Olmstead makes the stop for McNamara. Olmstead, an anchor on this defense. He's had a relatively quiet first quarter and change. And Brunner gets the call again, and McNamara sniffs it out in a hurry. Kurt Crosley.
Crosley was in there. Wendinger also had some penetration in there, but that was a nice play by Crosley to wrap him up.
Juergens.
I really like Coach Dan Rourke's game plan. I mean, he's going to so many different people. He flanks you out wide. He gives you a lot of different formations, keeps you off balance. He has a lot of threats out of those formations.
Modest gain for Brunner, 1 yard. Some guys skipped their plays, and now Dan Rourke is going to call for a timeout. He had a substitution problem, so he's going to do the safe thing and take the T.O. baby. And we will as well. Not quite 4 minutes gone in the 2nd quarter in the 4A title game. McNamara and Glenwood tied at 7.
It's late. Do you know where your kids are? Try looking in the Chicago Sun-Times, the official newspaper of the IHSA. Because as Chicago sports leader, only the Sun-Times has all the local high school action, including the inside story from leading prep writers like Taylor Bell, Steve Tucker, Roman Madrowski, and Daryl Van Skoen. For the best high school sports coverage, follow the Sun-Times and the new Chicago Sun-Times newspaper network. With high school sports coverage this comprehensive, you always know the score.
In case you haven't noticed, some of your neighbors are trying this brand new pre-emerge herbicide called Balance. Oh, it works great on stubborn weeds and grasses, and without atrazine. But the most interesting thing about this Balance is what it does after a little rain. It recharges. So any pesky little weeds that pop up during the season just don't get a second chance. Hey, who said life has to be fair?
This week on Bull Sox Underground, Hot Stove Baseball has reached its boiling point. We'll give you the latest information regarding White Sox slugger Albert Bell. Plus, Eric Collins chats with Sox GM Ron Schuler in part 2 of their interview. And we'll show you what the White Sox are doing to make Comiskey Park even better for 99. All that and much more on the next Bull Sox Underground. Tomorrow at 11:30 on Fox Sports Chicago.
Underground.
7-aside, Glenwood and McNamara. This is just the beginning of a humongous day of IHSA football on Fox Sports Chicago. Coming up at 3 o'clock, the rematch, Providence and Mount Carmel in the 5A championship game. Then at 7, a battle of unbeatens. Barrington tangles with Wheaton Warrenville South in the 6A championship. That one will be on Fox Sports Chicago Plus. Call your local cable system now for the channel number for the 6A game. Barrington and Wheaton Warrenville South. His coach John Thorne, people say, you know what, he's the kind of guy, he'll take a loss or two early in the season, but come playoff time, you do not want to see that team. I'm sure Barrington doesn't mind. Ross, misdirection play, doesn't get a lot. Bob Belland with the tackle, and Mitch Robinson in the stands on the far side.
Cutting out, Brian.
Go for it, big boy. All right, we'll try Mitch in a couple of minutes as Glenwood gets set on 3rd and 7.
Big play here, the field position.
Juergens under pressure. He pops it out and just misses Chris Ross. Ross signaled for it, but in some ways didn't look like he was ready for that.
He wasn't prepared for that. Juergens does a good job of seeing the field. He's very mobile, and he just did a good job of getting that ball out there, but Ross didn't have his hat on, at least mentally, to concentrate that, look that ball in with great concentration.
So the Redskins now 0 for 4 on 3rd down. Count noses there. Murphy's going to go for a 46-yard field goal. Remember, he was kicking from 45 in practice. Wow. And he misses wide to the left side. He had the distance.
Did he have the distance? He could have kicked that thing in from 55 yards where he kicked that ball, but it wasn't accurate.
Murphy 3 of 6, a long of 30. Rich Zanani.
That's unusual to have a guy in high school to kick like that. I mean, that's a great weapon to have. I'm sure he's going to nail a lot more of those than he misses.
Well, he kicked a 27-yarder to win that double overtime game in the semifinals, and said that he knew that if he hadn't made that kick, because for him that's a makeable one, that his teammates would have kicked the stuffing out of him.
Thinking it's Thanksgiving, so maybe he was in a stuffing mood.
Yeah, 1st and 10 now. Bishop Mack takes over on its own 20-yard line. The draw by the quarterback Magruder, flag in the backfield.
Looks like it's going to be holding, Brian. They just did like a quarterback draw, trying to spread them out, get a very mobile quarterback. Magruder the chance to expose them.
Magruder, 40 carries, not a big-time scrambler. Scored 3 touchdowns.
See the lineman set up, act like it's a pass. Looks like the right guard there has holding on Broom, which you have to probably almost have to do. That guy's such a great football player.
Tom DeBetta. Short gets the call. Great explosion at the 15-yard line. That was a heck of a collision. Was that Lynch again?
Zach Crawford. Zach Crawford came in there and he just kind of shouldered Zach off there, but that was a great collision there. Zach has to wrap him up. Zach's going to come in from the right side of your screen, number 44 in the red. Watch Short come in there and a head-on collision. Boom! Wow, he just ran right over Zach there. You got to bring your lunch pail when you tackle this kid, Johnny Short.
Crawford had a fumble recovery to set up Murphy's game-winning field goal in the semi. Magruder intercepted by Boyle. No chance. Touchdown, Glenwood. A 16-yard interception return gives the Redskins the advantage.
Magruder made a mistake there, Brian. He waited a little bit too long to throw that ball. And you have Boyle, who's 6'5", 240, but he's very agile, and he anticipated. It was an easy touchdown. These are the type of things that can decide a game that between two evenly matched teams such as this, the turnovers.
That's the 23rd interception for the Glenwood defense this year.
You can see why they're very smart, very heady. Great play by Boyle. Boyle's been responsible for both their TDs, Brian.
Gruder talks it over with his coach, Zanani. Murphy drives the PAT through the uprights, and a 14-7 advantage. He hit that one so hard, the extra point hit the scoreboard at the north end of the field.
That guy can really kick. But this is one of the mistakes. See, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. He's giving him two. He's eyeballing him. And Boyle does a good job stepping in front of Hagler. Easy touchdown. You can't sit there, you can't look too long, especially in the flat. And they had the right call defensively to make that play.
Yeah, you bet the guys in red are liking that. But let's go back to Dan Rourke's admonition before the game. No lead here, will be safe.
Well, you have two great teams, and that's why. I mean, you have two teams that are competitors that go after it.
Mitch Robinson on probably, Mitch, what is a subdued McNamara sideline.
Well, Brian, I was going to tell you that, you know, the Glenwood crowd may outsize this one over here. These guys are in no way less spirited. And behind me, Taiwan Hagler's mom. And so far, well, a tough blow just a second ago.
Yes, but they'll come back in the second half. They always do better in the second half.
A second half club. How special has this year been watching these guys and the way they played?
Oh, very special. These guys are a really good team. They're going to come back.
Your son's got another year ahead. Al Harris wants to know where all the speed came from.
It came from his mom. He's a junior. He'll do it again next year.
It always comes from mother. Back to you guys.
Love those gene pulls. Thank you, Mitch.
That's right.
Murphy.
Well, she looked like she can run.
Counts it. Out of the end zone.
What a weapon.
The wind here is fairly significant out of the south, but I don't want to disrespect Zach Murphy. This young guy has got a cannon below the waist.
Good looking young man, too.
That thing bounced 67 yards away from the spot where he kicked it.
That's a weapon there for you there. It shows you Glenwood will never be out of the game if it's within 3 points, no matter how far the distance is inside the 50, it seems. This guy can boom it.
Irish out of the eye. And the ball comes out. Johnny Short. Let's see what the ruling is. I think he was down.
Wow, this is very unusual for a guy who does not normally
play by Zach Crawford.
By contact, second down.
A guy who does not normally fumble, Brian, 2 times in a row here.
Boy, Griff Juergens was ready to come back. Backfield with the tail, and on second down, tough yardage.
I tell you what, McNamara was very fortunate they didn't call that fumble, because you don't need back-to-back turnovers, especially against such a good team like Glenwood. And as you see Short coming through here, oh yeah, he was down. His knee hit the ground and then it came out. But he's got to hold on that football. You can't let it be debated.
3rd and 1 now.
Only 8 fumbles lost by their team all year. And Short has 2 of them, almost 2 in this game. And it's still early.
McGruder calls timeout, but not before. Well, let's see. He called timeout as the play clock expired. One official did throw the flag. Timeout. He got the call in on time.
No penalty.
Well, this
timeout, McNamara.
This is something that McNamara really has to get back into this game, get control of the momentum right now, Brian, because Glenwood has a lot of emotion. They have a lot of confidence right now, getting ahead 14-7. They've seen them lay the ball on the ground a couple of times. They've made a couple of good defensive plays. So it's very important for McNamara, who's not a great throwing team, to get a couple of first downs, get their confidence back.
Bishop McNamara is 2 of 4 on third down. A year ago, when they played in 5A, they lost in the semifinals to Woodstock. That has been a point of motivation for this team the entire season long. Ryan McGruder says, I have spent 365 days reminding these guys of the horrible feeling we had. McNamara now playing in 4A. Providence and Mount Carmel will play later in the 5A championship game. That is a rematch of the heavyweight bout won in overtime earlier this season by Mount Carmel.
That's going to be exciting.
Frank Lenti for Carmel and Matt Sempner, the coach from Providence. And he is stacked up and short of the first down.
Well, that's what you have with good defensive play. They just piled it in there. Everyone was in on that play. Team defense, this is how you stop Johnny Short here. Just everyone firing through the gaps. 42, Jeremy Lynch came in there and made a great play to make the initial hit, and everyone else joined this party there.
He actually seemed to lose a touch of room.
Yeah, he did. But Lynch had good penetration there.
Tim Bradley to punt. Ross and Skip Clayton. Chris Ross calls for the fair catch at his own 44-yard line, so that's where the Redskins will start the drive. A 27-yard punt into the wind for Bradley.
If you're Rich Zananna, you have to be really concerned right now with such a highly explosive offense as the Redskins. You know, there's 4:49 left. If they put another touchdown on the board right before half, they can really take control of this game.
Ross takes the pitch and gains the edge. The ball came out. I think Ross was down. Boyle cleans it up just in case.
Well, it's funny, you're seeing the two top backs putting it on the ground a little bit, but they didn't call it. Just a quick count to Ross. Comes on the inside. Nice hit there by Vince Singleton.
That was a bang-bang call.
That was a quick one.
Quickly to the line comes Juergens. Hands it off to Ross, who eludes one tackle attempt. He escaped the clutches of Taiwan Hagler and gains the first down. Hagler had him short of the stick.
That was tremendous footwork by Chris Ross there. I mean, there was penetration behind the line, and he did a good job of avoiding the first tackler. But watch the footwork of 34 Ross. He comes in there. See the penetration there by the linebacker? Good footwork to get that first down.
That was Mike Kimberlin, the strong safety, who nearly had him in the backfield. 1st and 10. Glenwood from the McNamara 45. Quick hitter to the fullback Bruner.
You have to be impressed with Dan Rourke's offense. I mean, they do just such a good job of keeping guys off balance and run a little counter to the fullback there, Bruner. And they have all these great weapons they have offensively with Boyle and Clayton and Ross. And yet they use everyone.
This guy is 5'5". This guy is 6'3".
He's only 145 pounds, Bruner, so he's a little small guy, but he gets after it. He's very tough.
Receivers split all the way to the near side. Ross in motion, and Lynch is close to another Redskins first down.
Well, what they're doing right now, they're doing a nice ball control offense, run the clock down. They're not giving McNamara any chance to get the ball back. That's what they want to do anyway. So they're running the clock down.
Steve Graves, the coach at Canton, after the Redskins beat his team 31-14, says the defense gets overshadowed by the offense. And Juergens is hauled down on the play. Juergens is sacked by Wendinger.
Nice play by Wendinger. That's what they needed. They needed a big play, someone to come in there.
Oh, he gained the yardage he needed.
Wow.
He got a couple of feet.
Well, you got a big, lanky quarterback, Juergens there. Wendinger gets good penetration, but doesn't hold on, and Juergens is able to stretch for the first down. Now, see, he gets it. Hold on to that guy. Juergens is kind of a lanky guy, thin guy, only 170 pounds, 6'3". He got the first.
Just fell forward to get it. At the 34 to Lynch. Lynch was hot, uncovered.
I'd hate to be a defensive coordinator going against this offense because they can run so many different things at you. Right there, just a quick slant. They had Lynch in the slot, just a little bit too high for Juergens there on that throw.
And they can put a thing or two together as well. In that Canton game in the quarterfinals, they held Canton to 202 yards, but they also put together a 99-yard drive to tie the football game. Juergens. Take a look at his numbers. And Hagler, he shovels the ball forward to Ross. Taiwan Hagler had Juergens measured up for a coffin.
Man, he belted Juergens on that, but that was a good job by Juergens to get rid of that ball quickly. Watch Hagler coming from the left there very quickly. Bang! Bring a lot of force with him. But Juergens does a good job of getting rid of that ball.
Leaves Glenwood 3rd and 6. Trips left. Skip Clayton split to the right side out of the shotgun. Juergens looking for Boyle. Might have been Cam Kirsch. He put it right in between the two. And Dole, the safety from McNamara, had the best chance at the ball.
Yeah, they did. And what they try to do, Glenwood, they're trying to get the two receivers, Boyle and Lynch, to cross so they can cause some confusion in the secondary. He had Lynch open on the side. Lynch was a little frustrated, wanted the ball on that one, but he thought that Boyle could possibly make the play.
Now Murphy's going to measure it up for a 47-yard field goal.
No distance is safe for McNamara going against this kicker.
This time working off the right side hash. And this line drive kick is shanked left.
Did someone get a hand on that? It looked like someone might have blocked that.
I think he just mishit it. So the opportunity to extend the lead failed. See how it looked on the tee.
Okay.
Or on the carpet.
Juergens is, watch his hold there. Little high snap. Gets it down a little slow though.
Irish with 1st and 10 at the 20. Magruder seemed to trip. He gets the pitch to Short, who is tripped up by Nick Grant.
Well, Brian, they have the clock working against them. It's only 50 seconds left before halftime, so they got to go in a no huddle if they want to get a quick score here.
Short again gets the call. That'll be good for the first down. Ryan Daly, 6'6", 230-pound linebacker, makes the stop as McNamara calls timeout.
Well, the big thing, the person you're going to look for is Bufford on this play because, you know, he has the receiving yards. He averages 16.7 yards per catch. But Magruder is not used to throwing on a constant basis because he has that great runner there, Johnny Short. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to get this ball down the field in 29 seconds.
Let's see what Mitch Robinson has downstairs.
Guys, you think the football team's strong. How about the cheerleaders? You know, on the road to state, they've done 1,683 push-ups, 252 in one game. Whose idea is this?
I think it was all the seniors.
Keep pushing, don't quit.
Tell her don't to cheat. Tell her don't cheat now.
Al Harris says you're cheating.
Well, I'm cheating, I'm going.
There you
go. Going, Al. That's spirit, buddy. Back to you.
All right.
I want to see that nose on the ground.
There you go.
Split backfield for McNamara. The pitch to Short has some room. He gets away.
Call timeout.
He's finally collared down by Mike Pierce and Skip Clayton in the secondary. 22 seconds remaining. First down. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. And now McNamara will call a full timeout.
Short just takes a quick pitch. It's a big gaping hole there. Oh, another block by Baltazar there, 57. You can see why he plays all over the field. Just a nice run by Short.
We'll see whether Ty Hagler's mom was right when she said that this team is at its best in the second half. Matter of fact, in that game against Rochelle, Johnny Short ran for a 70-yard touchdown on the first play of the second half.
That shows you they're a great comeback team, Brian. And it's interesting how they're going about this 2-minute drill. I mean, they're basically running the football. It shows you they don't have a lot of confidence in Magruder, and they want to put him in best player's hands.
They've also gone toe-to-toe this year with Fenwick. They went toe-to-toe with Joliet Catholic. They won both of those games in overtime. We've talked about some of the tests that they've had here in the postseason. Glenwood actually defeated Fenwick in the playoffs. So there's a common opponent as Magruder. He's got his man, and he's free. Kurt Crosley, 58 yards and a touchdown.
Two of their fastest players on McNamara's team are their defensive ends. Crosley, a big, lanky guy, 6'4", 210 pounds, showed some remarkable speed and agility there, as well as power. This is basically right down the seam. Just great patience on McNamara's part.
Kimberlin ties it. With 12 seconds remaining in the first half, Kurt Crosley.
Just very impressed by that. I mean, I was thinking, man, there's no way they're going to score on this drive, but watch, it's going to go right down the seam. Magruder takes a step back, and there he is. And see, he should be tackled right. Oh, you don't bump with the shoulder. Skip Clayton made a bad play on that when he just bumped with his shoulder, and he actually knocked him away from the play so he could make the touchdown. You have to wrap up.
Zach Crawford was in the process of bringing him down.
See, Skip Clayton actually bounced him away from the rest of the guys. He came in there and just gave him a shoulder. You got to wrap him up.
You talk about a quick punch in the jaw.
Yeah. Man, you talk about a momentum swing. 12 seconds left. This is a big boost from McNamara. But again, like you're saying, no lead is safe. Two great teams who are just going after each other like heavyweight champions.
6 feet 4 inches tall. Never played football until a couple of years ago. Never lifted weights. He's still at 210 pounds. He's still a little bit on the lanky side. Now, would you give Ross the opportunity to return?
No way in the world. Not with 12 seconds left. might just do a nice squib kick here. Let one of the up backs or linemen take it. There's a squib kick.
Boyle picks it up and is taken down with 7 seconds on the clock.
I was very impressed with Coach Rick Zanani's patience. I mean, going with the running game. He didn't have that much time left on the clock, but he went with the running game and called the right play at the right time for a touchdown.
This is, in the end, a marathon. It's not a sprint.
That's right. You can see why they're so good.
As accomplished as he is in his 24th season, he knows that better than most guys in the state. Ross, the draw. He's got room. He's tripped up across the 40-yard line. Baltazar again.
2 seconds left. They're calling a timeout. Well, 2 seconds left, Brian. When you're talking about this, a lot of people think you're going to go to bunch formation and throw it up for grabs. I don't know how strong Juergens' arm is for that from this distance, but I'd imagine they're going to try to shake someone free.
Mitch Robinson downstairs. You've been eavesdropping on somebody?
Well, not really, Brian. I'm helped setting up the halftime, buddy. You know, at halftime in a couple seconds, we'll talk with both coaches. First, Rich Zanani, and then at the end of halftime, we'll have the visiting Glenwood, or the home team Glenwood coaches. Also, at halftime, another exciting IHSA interview, and then finally, yes, we have highlights from some of those exciting games from yesterday. If you missed them, you don't want to miss it a second time. So stay with us at halftime. Plenty more action to come. Guys?
We had some great action yesterday.
Of the West Stand.
And Carthage, Aledo, and Canelan won the 1A, 2A, and 3A titles. Each of those teams was the first to score. So let's see what happens here this afternoon.
You love that one, don't you?
Well, it's interesting because we had some great games. We rode the seesaw. The only game, the 3A game, did not go seesaw. They were tied at 7 with Nashville, and then scored a couple touchdowns in the second half to win it. Let's see what happens here with 2 seconds remaining. Juergens out of the shotgun. He's looking for Boyle. Boyle goes down. The ball is intercepted by Singleton.
Oh, nice.
He's up the sideline. Had a little bit of room, but it closes in a hurry. Boyle got a bump as the ball came toward him, but no call on the play, and so we'll go to intermission even at 14.
Well, it looked like what they tried to do on that play. It's almost like a punt. You know, you throw it up there quick, hoping you get an interference and you get closer. That's what that looked like, because it was too quick of a throw to get, you know, to have them go the distance. It looked like that's what they were trying to they were hoping for.
Well, you can't.
But watch this run by Singleton. Watch him fall on his blockers and watch this hurdle. He hurdles over. Boy, that's a nice run there.
But Baltazar got him a second time. Boyle paid twice on that play. Mitch Robinson's downstairs. Mitch, can you hear us?
We're here with Coach Rich Zanini. And Rich, what a way to end the half. Talk about that pass play and the effort you had.
Well, we just wanted to go up the seam with Hagler on one side, Crosby on the other. So we drilled it in there to Kurt. He made a great play, broke a tackle, and got us back in the ball game.
We talked to Taiwan Hagler's mother, and she said you guys are a second-half team. What do you think about that comment?
We better be a second-half team because we're playing a good football team. We just made way too many mistakes. We fumbled the ball, gave them great field position. We started on the 20 with about a 7 or 8 yard run. We were called for holding. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot right now, and we've got to get away from that and get back to playing solid football.
How hard do you lean on the kids at halftime, or do you give them confidence and tell them, hey, listen, we're leading in the state final game again?
Well, you know, we're not leading. We've got to play much better than we did in the first half. It's ridiculous to have those big mistakes, and we're not used to doing that. We got to get away from that if we want to win this game.
All right, Rich, good luck, and good luck with those halftime adjustments. Thanks a lot. Rich Zanini, and yeah, it is a tight game so far. Stay with us. Halftime is just rolling along right here on Fox Sports Chicago.
Mitch, take a look at what happened when McNamara scored the first touchdown of the game. They benefited from what appeared to be a missed call. So it really does, in terms of those breaks, go the both ways, and we'll see what happens halftime at Hancock Stadium in Normal.
A team that only passed 39 times all season goes 31 yards to Eric Hudson. Carthage wins the state championship, the final, 30-26. What an incredible finish in that 1A game. It only set the pace for the rest of the day. We'll get to those in a minute. But first, let's talk about what's happened here at the 4A state title game in the first half as we take a look at the scoring summary. First two drives, touchdowns for both teams. Short, Johnny Short, the star running back, 8-yard touchdown run, ran over a defender and into the end zone, 7-0 McNamara. But Glenwood came right back with a 14-yard TD reception to Boyle, tied it at 7 apiece. In the second quarter, Boyle again, this time on the defensive side, a 16-yard interception return, 14-7, Glenwood in front. And just moments ago, right before the half, a 58-yard catch and run by Crossley gave McNamara the tie, 14-14. We knew these two teams were evenly matched up. We knew they both came off close wins in their last semifinal game. And this one is just as good in the state championship. We've got plenty of more highlights to come and an interview coming up next when the halftime rolls along right here on Fox Sports Chicago.
One magical shot after another. One team driven by
They ice it. Richard Bigham fakes the reverse. Bigham 70 yards on the punt return. His third score of the game. 25-16 Aledo. They exact revenge. They win your 2A state championship. Joining me now, IHSA member Jeff Creek. And Jeff, you're responsible for attitude. Most people don't know what attitude is all about. Tell us.
Well, attitude is a sportsmanship mascot for the state of Illinois, and attitude's only been around for about a year now. And basically what it brings to the state is to tell coaches, fans, players that you can still compete at a high level and compete with good sportsmanship. And that's what these little appliques are here, and the Venitude. And you need a good attitude for the rest of the day. And if you have any questions or anything, if you want to get in contact to know more about attitude, you can contact the IHSA or you can visit our website at www.ihsa.org.
Talking about the mascot, how'd this come about, this look, and how's it been received by everybody?
Oh, the reception has been fantastic. We get interviews and requests on a daily basis for attitude to appear at high school events, and we're now even starting with college events, which is really exciting for us. The reception is fantastic, and day in and day out, it just seems that more people are starting to realize that attitude is for everyone.
You have to be proud of the way these kids have been performing this weekend. There's been no problems, no incidents on the field. Opposite team members helping each other up, great sportsmanship.
Oh, that's fantastic. And since attitude, this is really the first full year for attitude, we've seen a decline in the number of ejections in football and in all sports for IHSA, and we've seen an increase in the number of good sports reports that we've got in this year.
Jeff Creek, a wonderful job. You've done a wonderful message, and thanks for giving me my freebie. Look forward to seeing you the rest of the day.
Thank you.
All right, halftime, 14-14 in your 4A state championship. We'll have highlights and statistics. They're coming up next. Stay with us.
We had a great tradition at Joliet Catholic. The pride, the unity, a lot of heart. The student section would just be one. State championship my junior year, went to the semifinals my senior year. It was a great feeling, and pulling off the state championship was a dream come true.
Barrington versus Wheaton Warrenville South. Tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Chicago Plus.
Things that you hold close, we do too. Sharing your dreams and seeing you through. Bright tomorrows, human sorrows. It's nice to know when it matters most, the country's behind you.
Life being what it is, ensure some peace of mind with safe and sound car insurance. It's affordable. It's for people just starting out on their own. And it's from the country companies.
Imagine TV.
You're gonna make a big mess all over that plush new Mountaineer. Sorry, can't let that happen.
You can really clean up with a 98 Mercury Mountaineer, because right now you can get low 0.9% APR financing for up to 48 months, and we'll take care of your first month's payment. So hurry and let Mountaineer's big V8 and all-wheel drive get you through winter, no matter how messy it gets.
Please. Not on my watch, Skipper.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Smell that. This is how you know you're in a Dominic's Fresh store. Their breads are baked fresh all day long right here in the store. Pick one. Try a slice. You like seafood?
Up to Brian and Al.
Mitch, it was a great first half, and McNamara with the great rally after they fell behind. They scored first, then gave up a pair, one on a turnover, and that was one of the things that Rich Denetti said they got to fix. They've got to control the ball better in the second half.
There's no question about it. You can't give a great team like Glenwood repeated shots at the end zone with the offense that they have, so they definitely have to control that football better.
Well, let's see how it went in the first half. First blood, as we mentioned, to Bishop Mack.
On this first series here, Johnny Short just powers his way in for an 8-yard run. He puts his shoulders down and runs over the defensive back there. Just does a great job getting the momentum started for Bishop Mack. But Glenwood comes back with a quick slant to get Ken Boyle 14 yards for a touchdown.
Boyle at one end and then Boyle at the other.
Yeah, Boyle's not done here. He anticipates the pass out to a flat, intercepts it, and he runs for a 16-yard touchdown there. So they're up 14-7. But McNamara answers back with a slot play to Crosley, who's a defensive end, who breaks some tackles and does a great job. The 6'4" guy just angles down the sideline for a touchdown.
If you're Dan Rourke, you're upset about that, and you're also upset about this. This was key because it set up Johnny Short's touchdown in the first quarter.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a clip by number 35. You see him coming in the picture there in white.
LaRue Fitch gets the defensive back Pierce from Glenwood.
Definite clip.
But the call went against Glenwood on that play. Gave McNamara a 1st and goal, and they were into the house not too much later. First half stats, relatively even in terms of time of possession, but that late 58-yarder to Crosley really unbalanced things in the Irish's favor.
I know it looked like the Redskins had all the offensive, production, and then you had that long pass there. But two teams very balanced, and that's going to be a tough game in the second half.
Back downstairs to Mitch Robinson. He's got Dan Rourke, the Redskins.
Thanks a lot, Brian. And yes, Dan Rourke, tough first half. You hate to go in giving up that score at the end there.
Oh yeah, it's we played great defense this first half, and really proud of the way the kids have stepped up. And then, that play came. We told them they had some athletes that if you don't wrap up, you didn't cross their bow, they could do those types of things. But we told them at half it's 14-14. We have 2 quarters left in the season. Let's go win.
In terms of adjustments, how big an adjustment do you make going out into the second half?
I don't think we make a lot of adjustment. I think we were a little excited this first half. I think maybe we messed up on some opportunities, and we're just going to come out and do the same things we've been doing and hope to connect on some things.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Good luck in the second half. Thanks for joining us. All right, stay with us. Second half, it should be a great one. More football coming up right here on Fox Sports Chicago.
Hey, Mr. Internet Wonder Boy.
What?
Over here, over here. You think you got it all, don't you?
Well,
but there's this tiny little voice inside saying there's got to be something new, something that makes you want to stand up and say, yeah, baby, this is what I need.
Yeah.
Here it is. New Pepsi One, massive cola taste.
Chris Ross, 11 carries, 47 for Glenwood. The McNamara quarterback, Magruder, 3 of 7 for 76. There's that gallon milk jug noisemaker with the coins in it. Of course, in my old neighborhood, they'd fill those jugs with coins and then use them after the game.
Well, that's one thing. We don't want our kids to see that because they'll get an idea and do that at home. You know that.
Guaranteed. How old are your kids?
6 and 2.
See, ours are 9 and 5, and you're exactly right. Scary part is that we're contemplating a drum set for Christmas.
Oh, boy. You have a lot of guts. And you must have some earplugs, too.
Always comes in handy, and the kickoff is blown dead before Zach Murphy can get into it. Murphy has tried a couple of long field goals here this afternoon. And he'll be working with the wind again here in the third quarter.
Yeah, we'll see if he puts that thing through the uprights this time. I mean, he really boomed it the last time.
Singleton lets it bounce over his hand. Touchback.
I'm surprised they didn't have Crosby back there after he ran that pass, returning kicks. They have some tremendous athletes on that team.
Dan Rourke. Magruder takes the field. We're sold out for this game. 14,000. I do not believe they sell the end zones, but there is spillover in the south end zone here at Hancock Stadium, where a little bit of pride has been restored. By the way, Illinois State is back in the 1AA playoffs and playing today. Magruder goes to his bread and butter guy short, but he's brought down. He is undercut in a hurry by Charles Brunn after a gain of 1.
Looks like Brian Kincaid got folded up there on that block. Fortunate to come out of there.
2 yards on the spot of the ball.
Well, let's see if this theory comes to pass. Whoever establishes that third quarter, the first drive, usually wins. So let's see what happens.
Play action. Magruder has got Brian Zirkle.
And Brian, that's what happens. You know, you can make those passes to Zirkle when you have a good running back like Short, that you can set it up and do a play action out of there. Does a play action fake to Short, holds everyone up. He has no pressure. Nice, easy pass to Zirkle.
Ken Boyle reacted well, but Zirkle had him underneath. Zirkle, the 5'8", 140-pound junior. Reception gives the Irish 3rd and 1. Short with the ball angles across the 30-yard line for the first down.
That's what you got to do against these athletes from McNamara. You got to wrap them up because they're going to give you the second and third efforts. And even though they made contact, Glenwood, they weren't able to stop him from the first down. Now watch the power that he uses. He's coming to the left side. They pull, and he just puts his shoulder down there. They have him wrapped up, but he has the momentum to push him across that yardstick for the first down.
We haven't seen Magruder bootleg as much as he has in the playoffs. Short again gets the call and gains 4 or 5 yards. Magruder was being asked to bootleg a little bit more earlier in earlier rounds. There is Charles Brunn.
Now Charles Brunn, he's going to do a good job scraping off the block there. He gets his arms around there, but he doesn't quite wrap him up. See, these guys are hitting with the shoulder. If they keep hitting with the shoulder, Short's going to pop out there for a big game. They got to get in good habits of wrapping up, get your feet to the ball carrier, put the shoulder on it, and wrap them up. When you're going against great backs like Short, or even their own back, Chris Ross, if you just give them a shoulder butt, they're going to break loose pretty soon.
Johnny Short takes a blow.
Looks like he's adjusting his helmet or changing a helmet there.
Now Fitch. The handoff to Singleton. Off the block from Fitch. Singleton has the edge. He gets around Daly, who just does trip up Vince Singleton, who had eyes for the end zone. Another defender was closing. Adam Coombe had the angle, but a 31-yard gain for Vince Singleton.
Singleton really turned on the speed there. I thought that Daly, now watch Daly, number 80, shifts there, and he looks like he almost gets paralyzed by watching him. He's kind of looking at him, and it looks kind of unusual that he didn't kind of go after him. I don't know if he was expecting to cut back or not, but Singleton just blew right around him.
Zach Crawford was also closing. Coombe was a little further downfield to cut off the pipe. Singleton is stacked up on second effort. Falls forward for a 2 or 3 yard gain. Looked like Short was having some problems with his equipment.
What a luxury you have that you can put a Singleton in the backfield with the speed he has to sub for Johnny Short.
On the long gain. LaRue Fitch motioned to the left side of the line and threw a good block to Spring Singleton off play action. Magruder has got a lot of company, and Magruder is going to go down.
You know, Magruder's a small guy, Brian, and it looked like he lost sight of his receivers. When you get in a situation like that, you just want to try to throw it in the direction of the receiver and just not take the big sack. This really hurt him there. Watch, he comes out, sprints out to his right, and he has a lot of pressure coming up front there from Coombe and Boyle. Both big, tall guys, and he's this little short guy, 5'9". He couldn't see around those big guys.
Lynch gets in on the act. So does Brunn.
See, that took them way back. They lost, what, 10 yards on that play.
Adam Coombe with 5 sacks on the year coming in. McNamara is 3 of 6 on 3rd down. And a delay of game call.
Oh, that really takes it up. That really kills the momentum.
Play clock runs out, and that's going to put them 3rd and 22.
At this point, you don't want to make a major mistake and try to force the ball. I mean, most teams do not have a play for 3rd and 22. So if you can get it to one of your really good athletes, maybe get it to them underneath and have them make a good play and get, you know, break a couple tackles, that's fine. But you don't want to turn the ball over here at midfield.
Bufford. They will not give him the stick, but Nick Bufford gets close on the pass from Magruder. 14-yard gain.
Now, Bufford, this guy is a heck of a receiver. I mean, he knows where the openings are on the zone, and he just finds them there. Now, see, they're in the deep zone. They're dropping back Pierce, and he just curls underneath there and finds an opening there and tries to go for that 1st down stick. Now, you know the thing that hurts on Brian on this is that penalty for the delay of game.
McNamara will try for it on 4th and 4 at the Glenwood 26. Play action. Intercepted. Tim Brinkman with the pick to kill the McNamara drive.
Nice play there by Brinkman, but it comes back to that delay of game penalty, Brian. You're talking about they didn't have that. That would have been a 1st down on that previous play. And Magruder tries to force that in. And a great play by Brinkman to get the turnover.
Let's have a look at it again.
You see, he's kind of looking downfield, trying to force it. A wobble pass there, throwing into tight coverage.
He was looking for Bufford. He found the wrong number 24. 19-yard line is where Glenwood will start. Juergens throws it off to the side of his receiver, Clayton.
Well, Brinkman does a nice job there. He breaks on the ball. Sees Bufford coming back there. He's just laying back in his zone, short zone, and makes a good play.
The man of the hour, and turnovers in a game like this can absolutely kill you. Remember now, 24 interceptions for the Redskins defense this year. The pitch to Ross. Nice fill on the play by Mike Kimberlin.
You know, you have to be impressed with McNamara's defense because they pretty much not stopped Ross, but they've controlled him somewhat so far. He hasn't had any really big gainers so far this game.
Under 50 yards for the first half. Chris Ross, a strong run. Benches 320, squats 475. He had 1,500 yards rushing as a junior when he was the conference player of the year. Boyle has tons of room. And the first down.
Oh, this is what happens. They put Ken Boyle in the slot, and he just goes out into the flat there, wide open. They're putting the deep zone there. That's a little bit too deep. You got to be aware of the down and distance there. They don't have that kind of speed to run by you that fast. So you got to be aware of the down and distance as well when you're playing the zone.
First down from the 38-yard line. Ken Boyle And All-State by vote of the coaches, and All-State by the Champaign-Urbana News-Gazette, which along with the Chicago Sun-Times has one of the most respected polls in the state.
Chris Ross on the carry.
Baltazar, I tell you what, he's very impressive, number 57. I mean, this guy is all over the place from McNamara. I mean, he comes to play offensively and defensively. He came down there and put a walloping hit there.
Something else about Chris Ross, he's a 3.5 GPA, 25 on the ACT. If he doesn't step on the field once, says Dan Rourke, you've made your college better if you allow him to go to the next level.
With that grades, he's going to step in a major corporation and be an asset as well.
Juergens steps up in the pocket to elude the pressure. He's looking for Lynch. Interference. Dole, the safety from McNamara, roped the receiver Lynch down. And that will be a first down in McNamara territory.
There's no doubt about that. Dole arrived way too early on that play. That's a big play. And this is one of the things that have been happening with McNamara that the coach talked about. They're making too many mistakes here. Watch Doyle come over the back here. Way too early he arrives there.
That would have been a difficult catch for Lynch. I want to remind you that the Chicago Sun-Times is the official newspaper of the IHSA State Championships. Remember to pick up your Chicago Sun-Times for complete coverage of Illinois high school sports. And tomorrow, I guarantee you, it will be loaded with all the details of all the action here at Hancock Stadium. The pitch to Ross, gets the left edge, makes a move on Singleton, who doesn't quite find. Baltazar cleans him up.
If Singleton doesn't make that play on Chris Ross, he may go down the sideline for a touchdown, but Singleton has excellent quickness, and he wrapped him up. Now watch this play here. Singleton's going to come from the top of the left of your screen there. One-on-one. If Ross breaks that, he's going down the sideline. Great tackle by Singleton.
Great closing speed, too, by Anthony Baltazar, who a couple of years ago as a freshman, 5'2", 120 pounds.
Wow.
He is now 5'11", 180. Juergens. Great protection and the completion to Bill Clayton.
Beautiful execution between Juergens and Clayton there. Perfect timing just on a quick slant route.
Check the wall they set up in front of him.
That's what happens when you have the run. When you have that running play. See, he fakes like it's going to be a run. He goes into the line, and he runs a quick slant to Boyle coming across. I mean, excuse me, Clayton, who's 6'2", 160 pounds.
1st and 10 at the 32. Glenwood is marching. Ross on the pitch. Strung to the edge and hammered out of bounds by Taiwan Hagler.
Ty Hagler acted like Marvin Hagler on that hit there. I mean, he bounced him out. Wow, did he put some power into that hit.
Rich Zanani says, everybody asks after their games who number 22 is.
And you can see why there.
Hey, print up some calling cards for this guy. He can just stuff them in those guys' pads.
Yeah, that's right. There he is, just a junior.
Here's the thing you gotta like about Glenwood. This is a team, let's go back to the basics here. They had 5,000 yards of offense coming into this game. Juergens floats it to Lynch. He escapes for the touchdown. McNamara had double coverage in the neighborhood, but we stress in the neighborhood.
You know what? That play was made by the offensive line. Just great protection. They just held up those two fine defensive ends there. Now watch the time he has. He's looking. He's looking. He's still looking. Great blocking by the offensive line there. You can't cover a receiver all day, and Lynch is out wide open in the flat. Bad tackling right there by Kimberlin and Doyle. So you got to wrap guys up. We've seen two examples of bad tackling that led to touchdowns.
29-yard pass to Jeremy Lynch, and the extra point by Murphy gives the Redskins a 21-14 lead. We're late third quarter. Glenwood, the new kid on the Hancock block, has the lead in Normal.
The things that you hold close, we do too.
Turn for a touchdown, and this touchdown comes off of the interception.
You can't have those things happening, and there was a penalty, a delay of game penalty, cost them, you know, a crucial first down on that first drive. It cost back McNamara.
Murphy pounds it in the direction of Vince Singleton. They're keeping it away from Hagler. Singleton cuts across the grain. Had a seam for just a moment, but it is closed in a hurry by Charles Brunn.
Now, tremendous blocking on the offensive line by Schlichting there, number 71. Now, watch the block on Hagler. He just keeps his feet driving. He keeps after him. He keeps Hagler down. He dives at the last minute, but that's enough to make the throw. And see, that's a lot of times that people don't notice the plays that are made by the unsung heroes, the offensive linemen.
And the DBs, I think, maybe they didn't bite because Juergens wasn't faking so much, but the fact is that the DBs came because they thought the play was going to break down, and the guy makes them pay. Mitch Robinson is on the sidelines with more.
Brian, I think it's important to point out now, should McNamara be forced to start passing it, Magruder, a shorter player, he also, if you notice, doesn't throw over the top. He's more of almost a side three-quarter arm. All the Chatham guys got to do is lift their arms up. Heat, too, becoming a factor. They're taking a knee on the sidelines. It is hot down here.
Beats the alternative, though. Short escapes. And the touchdown is saved by Brinkman.
Remember I was talking to you, Brian, about he's going to eventually pop one if you don't wrap him up? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This guy is proper. He has powerful short legs, stubby legs. And watch this. He's going to run right through an arm tackle there. You got to bring the package when you come against this guy.
35 yards to the Redskins' 31-yard line. Look at the numbers this guy has put up today.
We had over 234 yards last week, so he's capable.
Ooh. Hammered in the backfield.
Now that's how you tackle somebody.
Coombe and Boyle.
Crawford
and Zach Crawford was the first guy in. Zach Crawford has had a couple of explosive hits.
Now that's how you hit somebody right there, Brian. I mean, Zach Crawford came in there and just totally unloaded on him. You know, when you have that situation, you gotta get your rear end, everything behind you to tackle this guy. And watch Zach Crawford. Whap, good tackle there with help from Coombe.
Short into the line, and he is roped down by Kalen Hill. Good backside pursuit by the 6', 200-pound senior linebacker.
But this is a big series for McNamara. Third down, and about 8 to go. You know, Brian, with their offense, you know, do you wonder, it's a minute 48 left. They don't have a great kicker. Do you go 2 downs here? And that's something they have to think about.
Down a touchdown, you would be thinking about that 4-down territory question. Hagler will not get away from Kalen Hill. Second consecutive great play by Kalen Hill, one of the leading tacklers on the Redskins side. And it will be 4th down and 10 yards to go for the Irish.
You know, you can tell he's trying to think if he's going to go for it on 4th down, but it looks like it's a little long.
I read the lips. He said, let's go.
Whoa, okay. Well, you know, Kalen Hill made a great play on that. It took a little bit too long to develop that on that play with Magruder. He's kind of hitching. He's kind of waiting a little bit before he throws the ball. He's got to get rid of it quicker there.
And he does, and he's got his man. First down. Nick Bufford. By half the length of the football.
Coach Rigzanani has the guts of Evel Knievel here. I mean, he goes back there. He has a quarterback who's not a great thrower, and he puts it in his hands to make the play. So, you know, watch. He doesn't take much time there. He gets rid of it, throws in rhythm. Nice throw there by young Ryan Magruder.
Short is bottled up. Do you call that a short stack?
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Hey, listen, if you could pull Holy Alito out of the bag like you did in the 2A game.
Oh boy, that's okay. We're one up. We're even.
3-yard gain, 3rd and 7 at the 2nd and 7.
You know,
at the 16-yard line.
He did a good job protecting the ball too when he ran in the pile. He fumbled 2 times, so he's cognizant of holding on to that football.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter at Hancock Stadium. Glenwood has got the lead, but McNamara is driving as they play for the 4A championship at Hancock Stadium.
Get ready to taste life for the first time, people. Watch out now.
In the 5A championship game, 7 o'clock, the unbeaten Barrington tangles with Wheaton Warrenville South in the 6A championship. That game on Fox Sports Chicago Plus. Call your local cable operator for details. Rich Zinani watching Johnny Short spin his way to the right edge on the 2nd down play, and we take a look at what we've got through 3 quarters. McNamara still with the advantage in every category out except for turnovers, and that is the key.
That's the difference in the game. Look at that. It's almost a 2-to-1 margin in stats. Not quite, but you got it. In these big games, you can't turn the football over, and you can't get crucial penalties that stop your drives.
3rd and 2. McNamara converted on 4th and long.
There you go, right
now
there.
we have motion by the tight end Profit or encroachment.
Yeah, it was Profit. And see, that's the thing that Coach Zinani was talking about. They're breaking down too many times mentally, not so much physically, but mentally. These sort of things are very hard to overcome, especially against great football teams. You can't give great football teams additional shots at you, either offensively or defensively. Because now, instead of having it being a short distance for a 1st down, now they can send their package after.
9th play of the drive. 3rd and 7. Magruder for Bumper, intercepted by Pierce. Mike Pierce with his 11th interception of the season. And another drive killed from McNamara, this time inside the Glenwood 5-yard line.
You know, Brian, I look for momentum, the things that change momentum in the game, and I think this may be it right here. He forces in the triple coverage there. Pierce just does a great job catching the ball in his back, keeping his eye on the ball. But see, that's what happens when you get those penalties. It puts you in a position you have to throw instead of run and give it to your best player. Pierce just does a great job there. And see, these are the things that could, you know, if you think about important things, a delay of game penalty that led to interception. Here's another penalty, a motion penalty that led to an interception.
Juergens will boot and not get much, but he does gain himself a little bit of room before he's tackled by Kurt Crosley. You ask Dan Rourke, his coach, to describe his quarterback. He uses words like unflappable and elusive and usually most dangerous when he's under pressure. Let's go back to the touchdown pass to Lynch. When the coverage breaks down, this guy really hurts you.
No question about it. And the thing for McNamara's defense, they need a turnover here. They need to get a turnover to balance the sheet a little bit for them as far as the scoreboard's concerned.
Juergens passed for 4 touchdowns against Fenwick and Geneseo Darnall and 3 against Kent. And Ross has got the 1st down and then some. Juergens did a great job of selling the fake. He rolled to the right side. Ross breaks off to the left for 11 yards.
See, this is the thing you don't want to happen if you're McNamara. You give the ball to a great back like Ross, because that's one thing I'd be thinking of. Run some time off of that clock and give it to your great back Ross, who's He's gained over 2,000 yards, so they're in a good position right now.
Ross.
Now this is what I wouldn't be surprised in, Brian. We're going to see a steady diet of Chris Ross. This is what I would do at this point. You know, throw him to keep him off balance, but predominantly let him run the ball, let him run the clock down to give them less shots at your defense. If you're Glenwood, of course. But McNamara, they have to start thinking about getting a turnover. If you get a guy wrapped up, the other guy come in there and rip that ball out of there, even if he catches it or runs with it.
Juergens has got Lynch, who is hogtied by Jonathan Dole.
Now this is the big play coming up here. 3rd down. And a couple of yards. They need to get a big play to get that ball back with 8:43 left. Now the thing with Glenwood, they have a lot of options. They spread them out 4 wides now. They got a guys flanked out almost to the sideline, so they got a lot of open space, a lot of work to do some damage.
On 3rd down, McNamara shows blitz. Juergens.
Oh, man, that was dangerous.
Sends a wounded duck that lands closer to the McNamara secondary. So Juergens 9 of 18 for 126 yards. Not his best day, but if you look at the way this team operates, quarterback has a lesser day, let's say, and the defense picks him up.
Let's go, man.
Look what the defense has done here.
Yeah, they have, but you know, they're playing against some great defenses here. When you get in a state championship game, guys aren't going to have the same numbers a lot of times.
Without a doubt. Jeremy Lynch will punt from his own 15-yard line. Sends a boomer that will be fair caught by Nick Bufford.
Jeremy Lynch is kind of limping a little bit. I don't know if that's just the way he walks. It looked like he might have pulled something on that punt, but maybe he didn't. But I tell you what, this guy can really pop those punts up there high.
$63 yards to the house for McNamara.
And
with
they need
8 minutes remaining in regulation.
And they need this, Brian, because of that interception. They need to come right back and get the momentum back offensively.
From the eye, Johnny Short, 7 yards.
I just get the feeling he's going to pop another one, Brian. I mean, he is such a strong, powerful runner, and the tackling hasn't been the best by McNamara as a whole, by Glenwood as a whole against him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pops another long run before this day's out.
The 4th quarter has not been McNamara's strongest. They have been outscored, in fact, 75-70. Glenwood, on the other hand, has outscored the other guy 96-67 in short balls. Boyle may have gotten a hand on him, but I think that was more Johnny Short's doing than Ken Boyle's.
Yes, it was. We call that the turf monster. The turf went up and bit him a little bit. He tried to make a move a little bit too quick. He saw the opening, and he tries to scoot to the outside, and he got his foot caught under Balthazar there.
3rd and 4. McNamara 3 of 8 on 3rd down. Magruder will put it to Bufford for the first down and more. Nick Bufford. He's got the breakaway speed, and he is gone. Touchdown, McNamara.
How many times today have we seen touchdowns off of missed tackles? I mean, it's one thing if a guy runs by you. I mean, that's physically, there's not too much you can do about that. But missed tackles there. Michael Pierce had a great shot. He made a great interception in the end zone to save 1 touchdown, but he had a shot to keep it to a 1st down. He misses it, and he goes down the sidelines. Perfect for a touchdown.
57 yards. And Mike Kimberlin will try for the tying point after. It's good.
But this is just what they need. It looks like I don't know if he has a cramp or he's kind of.
7 minutes remaining in regulation. Don't touch that dial. McNamara has battled back, and the Irish and Redskins of Glenwood are tied.
Join the winning team for good deals from Farm Plan and your John Deere dealer.
There's a dangerous Chris Ross ready to rock and roll here.
Ross, they got down to Taylorville big. Ross in the second half scored 4 touchdowns. And Glenwood won that ball game 35-27. The squib. Pierce has a notion to give it to Ross, and now he does the pretzel route and winds up with all of 3 yards.
It looked like, which way should I go?
Let's take a look at the big pass to Bufford.
Now, Gruder 3-step drop. Pierce comes around there. He made a mistake. He didn't get his helmet between him and the ball carrier, between him and the end zone there. And Bufford just turned on the jets and blew by him. And you'll see right here, you got to get your helmet on the outside between T's on the inside there. And Bufford just shoots down the sideline. No one's going to catch him.
Redskins drive will start at their own 27-yard line. Hand off quickly inside to Ross. And a great open field tackle by Jonathan Dole, the sophomore, to keep that from turning into a huge play. Bob Belland, the defensive tackle for McNamara, is down. It did not take long. 3 plays, 63 yards. We've had a couple hits of lightning here at Hancock Stadium today. Bufford 57 yards. Belland getting some medical attention, and I don't know what happened to him. He was on the backside of the play.
Oh, that looks like that might be a knee there. I mean, he just stayed there and didn't move. That's usually not a good sign.
Well, that's a football player's uniform, too. Look at the blood on that uni.
Oh, that's the thing. You don't want to see that at any level, especially a high school level. These guys don't get paid. They're not on scholarship.
They're doing it because they love it. Now we'll take a look. As I mentioned, he was on the backside of the play.
There he is, ISO. Oh, he got rolled up there by the guard. Kind of blocked him and just kind of rolled him just to try to cut him off from the pursuit. Got his ankle caught underneath and twisted his knee.
It's one of those where after you see the replay, you just hope that nobody heard anything pop down there on the field, because that's the situation.
You know, I've had times like that when I played, when someone has rolled up on me, and I've always fell towards, I never fought it, I just fell down. Even if it looked awkward, I would fall towards the place where the direction was going. I'd never resist, especially when you're in a bad angle. But sometimes it's tough to think about that when you're pursuing.
He does get up, and he gets a nice hand from all hands, including those who are cheering for the other side.
Hopefully it's, you know, at the worst, hopefully it's just a hyperextended knee or something versus something that will require surgery.
So they'll make a substitution on the McNamara defensive line. Scott Worth is into the football game, junior. And 2nd and 2. Lynch motions out, and the quick hitter to Ross again, and he keeps his feet for just a moment. He's got the first down. Looked like he had a ticket for McNamara territory.
Well, you know, they do a good job here with Ross. He just cuts back, good feet, he shuffles out of there, and he does that little 3-legged drill with the arms there, and he almost popped it for a big one.
Flag was thrown, but it was picked up and waved off.
That's the second one today, isn't it?
Yes.
He got waved off.
Boy, he does, as his coach Dan Rourke says, gets into the extra gear quick. Let's go back here as we hit the midpoint of the fourth quarter to something else Dan Rourke said, and that is that no lead is safe. The handoff to Jeremy Lynch. Baltazar with the tackle.
Well, you know, you got about 5:45 left, Brian. 21-21 game. You have a highly explosive offense going against a very good defense with great athletes. This is going to be fun going down the stretch.
Had two receivers, one in a slot to each side. Now Juergens on the boot, and he is hammered out of bounds. I mean, hammered by Rob Wendinger. That is a separate the man from his senses hit. Juergens a little bit slow to get up as he was blocked into the Glenwood bench.
I'll tell you what, Bishop McNamara brings the package when they hit. I mean, they unload on people. They lost him into the bench on that play. Watch Dinger 44 coming up here. Boom.
Right at the edge, a legal hit.
Now, they would have called that in the NFL because they don't let you hit the quarterbacks. They're too expensive to hit.
Now, this brings to mind something that we talked about earlier in the week. Griff Juergens, his quarterback.
Now, Boyle, number one, he's coming out into the flat. Good coverage here. Now he turns it upfield. He sees that, but he can't get it to him. Good coverage by McNamara.
Asked Dan Rourke, who's your backup at quarterback? And he gave me the name, and then he said, we probably need a new coach, too. Boyle, the tight end, gets away. He escapes the tackle of Olmstead, and he gets the first down. There is a flag on the play.
Olmstead's a big guy himself, 6'4", 245 pounds. And he has Boyle there. He should make that tackle right there. Wrap him up. He's a big guy.
What you can't see,
late hit by Wendinger there. Now watch Wendinger come in there. Oh yeah, that's definitely late. The penalties are killing McNamara. I mean, statistically, they're dominating.
After the play, I've got a dead ball, personal foul, late hit on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Now, what you didn't see was Olmstead. As soon as he missed the tackle, he rolled over and slammed his fist into the turf because he knew Wendinger, two big hits, one. His team pays a fairly heavy price now. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Tackled by 44, Wendinger.
Let's take a look at Wendinger's work here the last couple of plays.
Now, Wendinger, he does a good job on that first play. He launches the quarterback into next week there on that hit. But then he comes back and makes a critical mental blunder. He comes in there late, puts the hit on Boyle. And that's what may be their undoing McNamara. They keep getting penalties in the wrong time, which can lead to touchdowns for the other team.
There's a difference right there. McNamara has more than doubled the penalty yardage. Now Ross gains the edge. He slips inside, gets past Bufford, and he's inside the 15-yard line. First down.
I think they ran Ross from the fullback position.
Mitch Robinson, something up with Ty Hagler?
That's right, Brian. Ty Hagler on the sidelines, ice on the knee. He has a bad knee. He got hit on the chop block, he says. He had surgery on the knee. He won't be back, and they definitely miss him on that defensive side.
There is no question about that. Tywan Hagler with 18 sacks.
That's a bad blow. They've actually have two players out now by those low blocks.
Rich Denani says he may be our best player. There's Hagler on the sidelines. Ross bounces off one man, can't get past three more, who include Crossley and Fitch and Tim Bradley.
Ross is like, what's going on here? I I guess they felt, McNamara's team feels like they got in there late and put a little extracurricular stuff in there, but the officials didn't call it. Now watch here, he's surrounded by a group of players. Watch Crossley up there. Oh, he kicks with his foot there. Kicked his helmet off, actually. So you can see why the fans reacted the way they did.
We are approaching 3 minutes in regulation. Glenwood at the 15-yard line of Bishop. Touchdown, Bill Clayton. Juergens throws the rope, and Bill Clayton may have hung McNamara with it.
No question about that. You know, that's what happens when you get penalties that cost you on drives like that. The big penalty by Wendinger over there, the late hit. And then you lose your great defensive end, Hagler, who can't put the pressure on Juergens, and he goes back there and has enough time to make a great throw to Clayton.
The point is good, and Murphy was roughed after the kick. Santa Claus, he's got a sign that says, all we want for Christmas is a state championship. And right now, Glenwood has the inside track to get it.
And now there's another penalty by McNamara, and I think it's Wendinger again. I don't know. That one's a tough call there because it looked like he just didn't look like he rolled in on purpose on the kicker, but I think that's what they're going to call.
Kicker on the defense. Penalty is declined. The extra point is good.
So this one won't cost.
No. Sometimes, you know, I think in college and in the pros, sometimes they
add
take
it on
it on
the
the kick.
kickoff.
So in high school, that's not the same rule.
Three minutes remaining, and Rich Zanatti is going to need a pretty good-sized rabbit at this point. Let's go back to what Canton's coach Steve Graves said. The defense gets overshadowed by the offense at Glenwood.
They do, but they have some players out there. They have some good athletes. Now you got Bishop McNamara coming back there, one of their best athletes on the whole team, is sidelined with an injury. Now how are they going to come back without him out there? They have Johnny Short out there. They have Crossley out there, who's a good receiver. We saw him break off a long one. They have Vince Singleton, who can go down the field. So they have some options, but they got to be careful because they have a very opportunistic defense on Glenwood's side.
Wendinger. 9 plays, 73 yards. It ends from 15 yards out.
The story again is nice blocking by the offensive line, getting everyone down, makes it an easy throw there to Clayton from Juergens. Juergens is just such an outstanding passer. Great throw.
McNamara operates in the eye, short. First down.
You know, Brian, you commented earlier that Short loves to carry the team on his back when it's crunch time, and I think that's what he's going to do. He almost took the official out on that run.
Hey, they're in the field of play.
It's dangerous to be official in this game. I mean, you've seen some get knocked out in the past in all levels of the sport, high school, college, and pro.
Magruder will air it out, and the ball is nearly intercepted again by Pierce. Magruder was looking for Jared Nauman, and Pierce had the best chance at the ball.
Yeah, Pierce had this lined up. Boyle makes a great play. I think it's Boyle. No, it's not Boyle. It's Tim Brinkman. If Tim Brinkman doesn't tip that ball, that's a sure interception by Pierce. But he doesn't know that he has to make the play. He can't assume that Pierce will make that interception. So that was a good play.
The pitch to short. He cuts it back and he is hammered. Run. Finishes at what Lynch started. Tackle for loss.
By their best player, Charles Broome there, with help from Jeremy Lynch. Jeremy Lynch has been all over the field. Now watch these two guys gang up on short here. Lynch gets him low, and Broome hits him high. And that's how you bring someone down.
3rd down and 10 yards to go with 2 minutes remaining. McNamara 3 of 10. It has been a while since they converted on 3rd down. Magruder, he's got his man, but Brian Zirkle is nowhere near what he needs. Obviously, with 1 minute and 40 seconds and the clock running, the Fighting Irish will go for it on 4th down.
Well, obviously, this is going to be the biggest play of the entire game here. 4th down, about, what, 5 yards to go. Just a quick one out to the flat. He's wide open. He let him a little, Magruder let him a little bit too long. Otherwise, he could have turned up for the 1st down. 3-step drop. Magruder gets his shoulders there. Just lost it a little high.
Also
throws Zirkle off balance there. He could have turned up for that 1st.
Had him turn to the short side of the field rather than the long side, too.
That's a tough throw to make. That's not the easiest throw in the world.
McNamara calls timeout. Rich Zinani, his 7th appearance. Bob Shannon of East St. Louis made 8. Shannon and Matt Sempner from Providence, who will be in the 5A game, have won 6. Zinani is right up there with them in terms of achievement in his 24 years.
Well, let's see if Zinani can pull another rabbit out of his hat on this drive.
Hey, high school sports fans, don't miss IHSA Sportsnet on Fox Sports Chicago. Join the host, Tom Waddle, for 30 minutes of the most complete high school sports action. That's IHSA Sportsline every Sunday, 11 a.m., only on Fox Sports Chicago. 4th down and 6 yards to go.
How nervous the crowd is for McNamara.
Magruder is going to have to scramble. And he is across for the 1st down. Ryan Magruder escapes Zach Crawford, who had him tackled behind the stick, and he makes the 1st down.
That was just a heart play. Just a guy that wants to win. Magruder gets back there. He sees no one there. He's not going to force it. He looks around. He says, I'm taking off with this ball. I'm going to run. Then Crawford has a great shot at him. Doesn't grab him. Nice fake there to come back for the 1st down.
It's plays like that that cause his coach to say simply, he's a winner.
That's just effort, man. He doesn't want to go home a loser.
Magruder quickly to Crosley. 35-yard line, 34 on momentum. 1st down, McNamara.
McNamara, as much as they've shot themselves in the foot, they just keep coming back from the dead here. Just a nice, quick, right down the seam pass to Crosley.
Magruder rolls out and completes the pass to Crosley again. He is tackled by Daly and Crawford after the 1st hit by Skip Clayton.
I have a feeling that Bishop McNamara is going to try to sneak Johnny Short out there from the fullback position. I've seen that also done by the Redskins with Chris Ross. But sometimes what coaches try to do, they'll try to put a guy in a different position so you're not watching him and suddenly have a quick hitter for a touchdown.
Ryan Magruder, 11 of 18 for 181 yards passing. He's got Buffett. Buffett loses the football, and it's fallen on by Glenwood. The fumble is recovered by the Redskins, and Glenwood is going to win the 4A championship, barring some miracle.
You know, this is the mistakes that Rick Zanani talked about, what they've been doing. They've been shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and turnovers. And that one, oh, you just feel so bad for Bufford on that one because he's trying to make an effort to get upfield, and he just loses sight of the football.
Mike Pierce kept Bufford from getting back to the ball, and Ryan Daly was able to recover.
I watch him. He turns upfield, and he just loses the football. I mean, there's nothing complicated about that. He just wanted to make a move and just lost sight of the ball. Terrible break for Bufford and Bishop McNamara, but a tremendous game for the Redskins.
The groundwork for this was laid last year when Glenwood led Sacred Heart Griffin 30-3 at the half and lost by 9.
Look at that. That's the story of the game. 5 turnovers for them. 5 turnovers and a bunch of penalties, and they're only down by 7. Now the quarterback, Magruder, now watch him. Now he just had that great first down run from before, and he's like, I can't believe it. He knows now, with only 2 timeouts left, this is very bleak for his team.
If you look at the threads that lead to this, we talk about that Sacred Heart Griffin game. Then in the quarterfinal in last year's playoffs against Metamora, the Redskins led 26-14 at the half, lost their composure and got blown out 58-26. Then we mentioned earlier the 4-touchdown game that Ross had against Taylorville. They were down 27-7 in that game. And then against Geneseo Darnell, Dan Rourke said that people simply did not believe that we could go into that place and win. They were down 16-0, and they did come back and win.
So you got 50 seconds left, 2 timeouts.
Ross cradles the ball, gets upfield, and gets Glenwood that much closer to the trophy.
That's why you give it to your best player running the football. He knew to protect that football no matter what. He wasn't going to try to be fancy. He just wanted to make sure he held on to that football.
I think most of the city of Chatham has come here today. Glenwood High School located in Chatham, 7,000 citizens. And I do believe we've got most of them here. Glenwood is down in the Springfield area, so straight down I-55 from where we are in the Bloomington Normal area.
Tremendous support.
Up I-55 a little bit over right off I-57. And they turned out for their guys as well, but unless lightning strikes one more time, and this time in their favor, the 7th time will not be the charm for the Fighting Irish.
Well, if you turn the ball over 5 times in a championship football game, it's very, very unusual that you'll ever win a football game. And this is what's happened right now. Unless Glenwood gives them a gift, looks like it's very bleak for McNamara.
Ross, and that will do it. Rich Zanani said our guys remembered last year's semifinal loss to Woodstock. Most of that group is back, but you know what? Well, McNamara calls one final timeout.
Well, that's, you know, you have to credit Glenwood Redskins. They you know, statistically, they were on the short side of the sheet most of the time, but they made the opportunities. They got the turnovers when they needed them. They made the plays offensively when they had to have them. And congratulations to them. Coach Dan Rourke there, just making sure everybody knows what they're doing. He's making everyone aware of the situation there. You know, he says, hey, no more timeouts, 32 seconds left, protect the ball, don't do anything fancy, and we have this game. You see the dejected McNamara sidelines there. They played hard. They gave it 100%. They kept coming back. They didn't quit. Unfortunately, penalties and turnovers were their demise today.
Bishop Mack is now out of timeouts. And so while they had the tradition. Glenwood had some resilience. They had the confidence and the belief. All the way up to this point, Dan Rourke made it clear to anybody who would listen that his team had absolutely no fear of anybody. And that confidence and that fire in that belly has resulted in a 4A state championship for the Redskins of Glenwood High School.
It's great to soak in that high school emotion here in the crowd. The whole town is proud. This is when you go into the communities and you see state champion football, basketball, baseball. And this is for football. Congratulations, Glenwood.
Rich Sinani had his guys over on the sidelines, and he said, hey, you go over there and shake their hands.
That's why I enjoy high school sports. There's so much more sportsmanship in it. Not a lot of hot dogging like you see in the upper levels. I wish we could do this in college and pro. I mean, to see, instead of seeing guys fight in the middle of the field, seeing guys doing this, just walking by each other. And that's hard to do when you lose, but...
Hey, Santa can put the sled in the shed. He's got everything he wants for Christmas.
Well, the weather's not treating him right today, I'll tell you that. There's Juergens, the fine quarterback.
Rourke talked about his escapability, his elusiveness, and that's what made them pay.
You know, we had a lot of players that really stepped up today. Juergens, he stepped up today. Boyle, he played big. Pierce, I think about that interception when McNamara was threatening. Pierce made a great interception there on his back. They just had so many options to beat you offensively. It's just tough to defend them. And McNamara did a good job. But it's tough to stop an offense with that many different ways to score.
And it's a 28-21 victory for Glenwood High School over Bishop McNamara of Kankakee. Back in a moment on Fox Sports Chicago.
Imagine TV.
Big trophy, our Pepsi player of the game. You are looking at him. Griff Juergens, 11 of 20, 153 yards passing. He got great support from his running back, Ross. He got great support both ways from his tight end, Boyle.
And watch his passes. I mean, he just executes down there. He gets down there, takes a good 5-step drop. Plenty of time there. Rifles that ball to Boyle for a touchdown.
That was the game winner to Bill Clayton.
You know, another thing that played in that final drive, with Hagler out, he couldn't put the pressure he did in the pass on Juergens, so that played a big key.
Nick Bufford. 7 receptions, 139 yards. A new 4A record for receiving yards in the title game, but you know that is going to taste like dust because it was Bufford who fumbled the ball away inside the final minute. Yes, indeed, Griff Juergens, you are #1, and your fans know it.
Oh, you feel so bad for him, Bufford. I mean, you know, something like that, you know, that's something you're going to remember for a long time, unfortunately. You know, you're trying to make a play, and things happen sometimes.
Here's the yin and the yang. Juergens 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Magruder exactly even, 153 yards, but 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And that thing is going to look nice in the trophy case at Glenwood High School. As we wrap up the trophy presentation at Hancock Stadium, Mitch Robinson coming up next with the state champion coach Dan Rourke on Fox Sports Chicago.
The Illinois High School State Football Championships are brought to you in part by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Milk. Got milk? Your local Lincoln Mercury dealer. Farm Plan, the charge account for rural America.
Peace of mind with safe and sound car insurance. It's affordable. It's for people just starting out on their own.